I'm Anne Youngman. I'm the Scottish Officer for the Bat Conservation Trust, and tonight I'm off on a bit of an adventure. I'm going to be looking and listening for bats. So I've come here to this perfect bat habitat. We've got water, woodland, lots of insects. It's a great place to see bats, but I've also got this little gadget, a bat detector, and this is going to help me because not only will I be able to see bats, I'll be able to hear them. So I want to show you how to use one of these and tell you about the different sounds that we'll hear using a bat detector. This is our bat detector. One of the first things to notice is it has a wrist strap. That's a really useful thing to remember. Put your hand through the wrist strap so that if you stumble in the dark, your bat detector's not going to fall and get lost or end up in a puddle. The next most important thing then is the on-off dial and the volume here on the side. So switch it on, turn the volume all the way up to full, and then turn back to halfway. So we're just hearing that hissing of white noise. And then the next thing is the dial here. This changes the frequency that we're listening in at. So for horseshoe bats in Wales, we might be listening in the 120s. For pipistrelle bats, which we get in the centre of Scotland, we're listening around about 50 kilohertz. And then for the big bats, the nocturnal bats, we're listening right down to 20 kilohertz. So as a beginner in central Scotland, what I'd suggest is you start off around about 50 kilohertz and then just keep wobbling the dial up and down and listen for your bat sounds. There's also a little torch at the side here, which isn't really strong enough for you to see bats, but it's useful if you're filling up a recording form or to find your way back home. And at the bottom of the bat detector here, there's an input for headphones, which really helps you focus in on the sounds the bats are making, and another socket here so you can record the sounds that you're hearing. So that's how it works, really simple. Remember to tune up and down and listen away. So here we are, the sun has just set. This is the perfect time to be out listening for bats. I've got my bat detector tuned to 50 and I'm listening out for the pipistrelle bats. Now, if I'm standing just outside their roost, what I'd hear are roost sounds. I'd hear them chittering, talking to each other, sort of encouraging them, go on, out you get. You can hear those sounds with your own ears, but you can also use the bat detector to turn up the volume so you can turn quiet noises into much louder noises. Then as the bats come out, they change from sounds we can hear into sounds we can't hear, and that's why we need our bat detector. The bat detector turns these secret sounds that we can't normally hear into something we can. And the first bats we're likely to hear are the pipistrelles. They're quite brave little things, and they come out close to sunset and they have a lovely wet poppy sound on the bat detector. Later on tonight, over the water, we'd hope to hear Daubenton's bats, and they have a much drier, clickier sound. In amongst those echolocation sounds, if we're lucky, what we might hear are rude raspberries, the sound of feeding buzzers, which is the bats making their calls faster and faster and faster as they home in on an insect. And other sounds we might just hear at autumn sound like a little rude and that's the male bats singing sweet songs to attract the females. So hopefully we'll hear some of them tonight.